This is the Voice of the Eagles podcast. And like always, God bless those Philadelphia Eagles. But enough of that. Let's get right into the live stream. All right, so we're at the halfway point of the season. Right now, currently, the Philadelphia Eagles are sitting at a beautiful 8-1. It looks like it's going to be 9-1 soon, and so on and so on. But the Philadelphia Eagles are indeed 8-1. So with that being said, the Philadelphia Eagles also just had a bye week. So I feel like this is the best time to kind of go over just we're at the halfway point. So I want to discuss. I'm gonna start with the front office. So I'm gonna grade everybody starting from the owner, the general manager, Howie Roseman, of course, and then we're gonna go from quarterback, running back, stuff like that. We're gonna grade every position and pretty much try to do a recap of the season, right? Best team in the NFL. Hey, that's facts. We are the best team in the NFL. We have the best record, so it'll be hard to even try and you know um, deny that. So let's start with um let's start the owner. All right, let's start the owner. We can start with the front office and work our way down. Jeffrey Lurie. All right, Jeffrey Lurie, he's been a great owner for the most part ever since I've been a Philadelphia Eagle, ever since I've been a fan, which was like 20 plus years, right? He's always been the franchise has always been respectable. So he's always been in big games, playoff games. He's always in the mix. The Philadelphia Eagles are always in the mix. Everybody respects the Philadelphia Eagles as a franchise. The players respect it. So we're definitely a top 5 organization, and that's strictly because of Mr. Lurie. So just from the last couple years, the success he has to get an A, right? So I would give Jeffrey Lurie a solid A, a solid A. Now things were rocky. He won a Super Bowl. Carson Wentz. So there's been success. There's been success during his tenure as owner. So for Jeffrey Lurie, as of this year, you're picking up where you left off last year. Things are the acquisitions that you've acquired. It looks like they're panning out, and he's a successful owner. He's a successful owner, and it's been that way for quite some time. But this year, I'll give him an A. I'll definitely give Mr. Lurie, Jeffrey Lurie, he gets an A in my book. They have a really great. The Nova Care is amazing, right there. They take care of their players. I can go on and on about the owner. He's not always in the spotlight. He comes and watch the games. He shows that he cares enough, but he knows when to step back, right? He's not a Jerry Jones type of guy. He's not a type of guy that's going to always want the spotlight, the be in the media, get the headlines. That's Jerry Jones and Dallas Cowboys, right? That's what their owner do. Mr. Lurie, I can't say enough about the guy, right? Now, I give him an A. For this year, he gets an A. He's been amazing, amazing owner, one of the best owners in the NFL, right? Let's move right along to, of course, Mr. Howie Roseman, right? Now, Howie Roseman gets an A plus. Okay. Howie Roseman gets an A plus. This is just based off going off right now, halfway through the season. So this is what the grades are based upon. Okay. Howie, I'm giving Howie Roseman an A plus. Okay. And that goes without saying. All right. That goes without saying. Howie Roseman gets an A plus. He's constantly building this roster, thinking ahead, building for the future, and and also the immediate. When there's an immediate need on a team, Howie Roseman is always plugging in players or bringing in players and trying to figure out how he can make his roster better. Okay. And he's always in the mix because he's always trying to continue to make the team better. And that's probably what I love about the guy the most. All right. He's always doing something. He see a weakness, he's going to try to fix it, right? No matter what. So he's always trying to rebuild his roster and make his roster better. And even with the Julio Jones acquisition, a Kevin Byard, you get some veterans that's been in the league, Hall of Fame caliber players or players that have with a Kevin Byard, a really solid guy, right? A veteran. You go and get a Bradley Roby to play slot. So he's bringing in veteran guys that knows what it takes to win, and he's infusing that with his young talent, and it's a perfect blend with the roster. So I would definitely give Howie Roseman, as of right now, I'm giving Howie Roseman, he gets an A plus. Okay. You even look at some of his acquisitions from last year with the Georgia guys. You had a Nolan Smith, you had a Jordan Davis, you're going to get a Landon Dickerson, you drafted Jalen Hurts. Like, what he's done in the draft as well has been absolutely magnificent, right? But it all ties back into, it all comes full circle when you look at the team right now and the fact that we're 8-1. Okay. Fresh off a bye, ready to finish this thing out right at the halfway point. You know, uh, it's outstanding. Now you got to go get a championship. But it's a stellar performance from the entire organization. Okay, and we can start with it starts at the top, or it starts at the top with the owner. Next, then it trickles down everything else. Howie Roseman is a reflection of the owner. I mean, they've been outstanding. The front office gets an A plus. I'm giving Jeffrey Lurie an A. I'm giving Howie Roseman an A plus. Now we have to from there. It's a hierarchy here. It's a hierarchy. You start with what? The front office, the guy who is paying everybody. Boom, he gets an A. Jeffrey Lurie. Next, the general manager who builds the roster, Howie Roseman. Now we have to go to the quarterback. And Jalen Hurts has been absolutely sensational since he's entered the NFL. He's been sensational. All right. They're building the perfect roster around him. Right. And so because these guys are now they're buying into Jalen Hurts because they know Jalen Hurts. Right. And it's talent as well. Right. So that's the perfect blended combination when you're creating a roster and you go get a Jalen Hurts to run everything. Yeah, I mean, no matter how he's doing it, Jalen Hurts is getting it done. I don't care. He's winning. That's all. At the end of the day, honestly, that's really all that matters. The fact, does this guy know how to win a ball game? So we can talk about the roster that's around Jalen Hurts, which has a really good roster. We can talk about the fact that he has a lot of rushing touchdowns. We can talk about his passing yards. At the end of the day, Jalen Hurts is going to win you football games. So no matter how he does it, as long as you win, and he knows how to get a dub. He knows how to get a dub. So you got to give him an A plus. You got to give Jalen Hurts an A plus. Okay, there's been growing pains with Jalen Hurts. Okay, it's a new, it's a new offensive coordinator, right? You got a new. You got a new offensive coordinator coming in, but you've known him your whole life, Brian Johnson. You have a relationship with him. Everything is just synchronized to all fall to to all everything is like synchronized with Jalen Hurts. He has ties to everything and everybody on his team. He's known Brian Johnson his whole life. Okay, they Brian Johnson and Jalen Hurts, they're having troubles with, some just the when you start a season, there's going to be times where it's a new offensive coordinator. We got to figure out how we're going to win this year, figure out a new identity, and so it takes time to kind of to figure out some things. But when you get rolling, I feel like they're rolling. I feel like everything's starting to synchronize perfectly with the quarterback and the offensive coordinator. So that helps. So I'm giving Jalen Hurts an A+. He's 8-1. They've been having troubles at times in the red zone. That's gotten better. Everything is getting better. Okay. So from a quarterback standpoint, Jalen Hurts gets an A+. He's 8-1. I mean, they're figuring out the growing. They're figuring out the growing pains. And Brian Johnson, I was hot on his tail. He looks like he's figured it out in the red zone. It looks like it's all coming together perfectly at the right time. And Jalen Hurts at the helm. I'm giving him an A+. So I got Howie at an A+. I know I might sound like a homer. I have Howie at an A+. Okay, I have Howie at an A+. I have Jalen Hurts at an A+. And I have the owner at an A. I mean, things are starting to pick up where they left off in a sense. Okay. So at the halfway point, so far that averages out as an A+. Okay. Coaching staff. I gotta back up real quick, because I spoke on Brian Johnson. The coaching staff, okay, the coaching staff. Brian Johnson, I thought he was a goner. I wanted him fired, okay? I wanted him fired. I'm eating those words right now because everything, like I said, everything is coming together. So maybe they just needed time. But it's perfect. It's perfect in perfect harmony right now. Um, and I think Brian Johnson, I would have to, let's start with the coaching staff. I would have to give Brian Johnson an offensive coordinator. I would have to give him right now, it'll have to be a B, a solid B. And the thing with Brian Johnson, he looked the red zone efficiency was just terrible. They weren't getting touchdowns when it mattered the most. And that was extremely alarming. Now a lot of the turnovers just maybe rust or whatever the case may be, miscommunications at times. But all of those things combined is what made me kind of have to take a step back and reevaluate Brian Johnson and say, hey, wait, dude, you're not looking like you know what you're doing right now. Even some of the play calling was kind of, but I'm starting to see more things. I'm starting to see different elements to their attack, different elements to the offense. They're implementing things that is like really hard to stop when you got a triple option, when you got a play where you can do three things, right? It takes a lot of processing, but it's some really complex things that Brian Johnson is actually doing. So Brian Johnson will for sure, in my opinion, I'm giving Brian Johnson a solid B. Okay, I'm giving Brian Johnson a solid B because again, earlier the first four games, I'm like, whoa. Okay, so I'll give him a B. Defensive coordinator, Sean Desai, he has to get a B+. Okay, he has to get a B+ in my eyes. Sean Desai is simply, what Sean Desai is doing, what Sean Desai is doing in the second half of games is he's shutting teams out. He's shutting teams out. The way Sean Desai can adjust, it's outstanding. It's outstanding. Second half of game, Sean Desai is putting the clamps on teams. You know, and earlier in the season, the defense was winning games with turnovers. Now the turnovers are non-existent right now. So, you know, they're not getting the turnovers. And the defense is finding ways to win football games as well. If you look at the Dallas Cowboys game, the Dallas Cowboys, they didn't really score in the second half. They couldn't score in the end. They couldn't the Dallas Cowboys couldn't score on our red zone defense to go win a game. That's extremely impressive, right? Your defense gets a stop when it matters the most. So, okay, now we know how to win games defensively. We know the offense is going to go win games. So to see the defense win a game and when it mattered most, because it was 5 seconds left, and this is for the game. And we did not allow them to score. We won the game. That is a great sign. I mean, this team looks ready. How are you going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles? Is the question. And if the defense is playing well, you're done. If the defense is playing well, you're done. You're not going to win if Philadelphia Eagles can have a top 5. We have the number 1 run defense in the NFL. But if the Philadelphia Eagles can become top 5 in passing yards allowed, this would look like one of the best defenses we've ever seen. Okay, but there it is that element. I also have to grade Sean Desai based off how have you been, how's the defense been performing on the back end, the defensive backs, how many yards, the yards that they're allowing quarterbacks to get throwing the ball is wild. But there's so many injuries, right? It's so many injuries. So here's Sean Desai is he's using so many different lineups and putting different players in different positions. He's a mastermind. He's moving so many pieces around because all of our defensive backs are pretty much injured, right? We're in shambles, and he's still making it work. This is really impressive, you know. So I'm giving Sean Desai a strong B+. I want to say, you know, because I really what he's doing, man. I mean, the defense is really making stops when we need it. Our defense is showing up. Our defense is going to play ball, right? And there's going to be some growing pains with the defense. There's going to be some things you wish that doesn't happen, but they're going to give up some things. But overall, I like our defense. It's winning us games. But if we can shore up the amount of yards that we're giving up to opposing quarterbacks, because I mean we got Kansas City coming in, okay, and Kansas City, you have to be able to stop teams from passing the ball. Special teams coach has been outstanding. Mr. Clay, he's been outstanding. You look at offensive coordinator. I mean, you have not the offensive coordinator. We're talking about Brian Johnson. We have the O-lines coach, Jeff Stoutland. He's always amazing. He gets an A+. You look at his view, and that's the heart and soul of our team, our offensive line. So, I mean, we know how valuable these guys are, Jeff Stoutland. So I mean, he gets an A+ every year. Dude is like a Hall of Fame coach, a Hall of Fame offensive line coach. Nick Sirianni, I like Nick Sirianni. He's the same guy. I would give him a A. I would give him a B+, A. The coaching staff is really solid. Nick Sirianni, he's the same. You know what you're going to get with Nick Sirianni. And that's what I love about him the most. You're gonna get energy. You're gonna get a gutsy ass fucking play caller who's just gonna always go for it, right? So you kind of know what you're getting with a Nick Sirianni, and that's what I like about him the most. No, he don't really call plays, or he's all over the place wherever he can go and help and plug in, and that's where he is. So I kind of like that about him. And I just dude has an infectious kind of energy to where it is kind of people gravitate towards that dude because I mean like he's a high energy guy. You don't see that with a lot of head coaches. So it kind of that's a guy I would like to play for. Someone who looks like he's in tune with the game. He cares. He's passionate. He's happy with his guys make plays. That's the kind of coach I would, that I feel like the team can feed off of his energy as well. I remember Hassan Reddick got a sack to close out the game, and you see Nick Sirianni just going crazy. He's excited. So that kind of stuff you can actually feed off as a player. Um, and what he brings to the team is valuable as well, as extremely valuable. He's a good leader, and people they follow him. They love it. They love the guy. And he's always the same. I know exactly who Nick Sirianni is. I know him. He's always the same, right? He don't change up, right? He's gonna always have that energy, and he has to get a B plus, A plus, or no, not an A plus, a B plus, in my book, a solid B plus. I want to get into the running backs and the receivers, but before I do that, let's read some of the comments. I'll get into some comments really quick. Um, Hi, yo, what's up, Myram? Byron says, "Man, I can't wait. I can't wait for the game. Revenge. Yeah, we're definitely getting revenge. Cowgirls suck. Yes, sir. Dallas Cowboys stink. Brian Johnson needs to go. I don't know about that. The offense is like top five in almost in every category. And they're really they're scoring in the red zone now. So I'm all in on Brian Johnson. He's been amazing. He picked it up. He's gotten better. Okay. You said you love talking about the Cowboys, low key fan. Bro, they're our biggest rival. You think I'm not gonna trash talk like that? I trash talk. So I mean, it is what it is, bro. Uh, how he can't get an A plus while how he managed the secondary. He mangled the secondary. He didn't mangle the secondary. It's injuries. You can't do anything about injury. Look, all right. The secondary's injured. I mean, what can you do besides ask for some young guys to step up, which they have been. Eli Ricks, he has young guys. I mean, the secondary has a Darius Slay, James Bradbury. I mean, we have Pro Bowl and All Pro pieces. Okay, we have guys in our secondary, so it's not like he hasn't equipped the team to. They're prepared. You got all Pro Bowl starters at corner on the outsides. You got Avante Maddox in the slot. So you have pieces. You have pieces. Yeah, Kevin Byard. I mean, you cannot blame Howie for injuries. He's bringing guys in. He has a stable of. You look at Isaiah Rodgers, who we have stashed away. He's suspended for a year for the Colts, right? It's so much. Howie's going to always have an influx of talent in the secondary. So I can't blame Howie for the secondary at all because he's bringing in pieces to even when if there's injuries, there's not a lot you can other GMs will do about that situation. Kevin Byard, I mean, with a Kevin Byard signing, it shows Howie is still bringing in pieces in the secondary, even when there's injuries or even when things happen really you can't really account for. So that's all you want from a general manager. You can't ask for more. Any team will love to have a high. But you also Ariel also says Byard a desperation move because he mangled this. What did he mangle? Explain that. Explain that to me. And Brian hasn't looked good on top of that. Yeah, he hasn't. I mean, but how has he mangled anything? I'm gonna say A. The secondary is okay. A plus is probably a little too much for Howie. And okay, when I gave Howie an A plus, I was thinking sort of under the lines of um. I kind of accounted some things that happened, previously when he went and got other talent. So I kind of added that in as well. The fact that hey, he's constantly bringing in talent. But an A plus, he's still in that tier. We could have traded for a good corner. We tried. We tried to get the guy. We tried to get Patrick Surtain. We couldn't get Patrick Surtain. The 49ers and the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles. Both of these teams they were calling in for Patrick Surtain because they didn't want the other team to get him. Right. So the 49ers and the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, they were both contacting the Broncos to see what, are the Eagles trying to get Patrick Surtain? Or, for the Philadelphia Eagles to ask him, is the 49ers trying to get Patrick Surtain? So we were trying to get Patrick Surtain. We were trying to get the best corner in the NFL because we know the Broncos are selling right now. They're giving up. They're retooling, but they would not come off of them. But we've been in talks with. I think Howie's done everything he could for the secondary. I'm not blaming Howie for injuries. There's no way I'm going to blame the general manager for some. The only way I would blame a general manager is if he does nothing after the injury happens. Right? They've been proactive in doing everything that they possibly can to fix. It's hard to compensate for injuries, but it's going to happen every year, so you should be prepared. And I think with some of the young guys that they have, with Eli Ricks and Sidney Brown, Eli Ricks has shown some good things, in the preseason and even during the season with some of these really solid receivers he's been going up against. Okay, he's been doing really well, and he's young, so he's going to make mistakes. So then you have Isaiah Rodgers, who from the Colts, a Pro Bowl player that how we acquired before the season started. So he's already what Howie has done. He's already set himself up for the future and the now. The only thing is some of your key guys, Devontae Maddox is out for the season. That hurts. Everything's in shambles now. Everything is in shambles because we don't have a slot. We don't have a slot corner. We don't have a slot corner. So I'm not blaming Howie for that. I'm not blaming Howie. Yeah, I can't blame Howie for injuries. Yo, Cool Cat, what's the word, bro? Shout out to my boy Cool Cat Connor, Make sure you guys check his channel out. Hertz is a A. Yeah, Hertz get an A plus. I mean, we're 8-1. It's hard to give it's hard to give any bad grades, honestly, when the team only lost one game. So everything's on the up and up for me right now. I'll be honest. Everything's on the up and up. I'm not blaming Howie for it. And again, if you look at the secondary, man, in the second half of games, the second half of games, in the second half, when it matters most, they're shutting teams out. Teams aren't scoring. It's the adjustments that they make, the adjustments that we're making to compensate for our secondary. Bro, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. CD Lamb went off against the Philadelphia Eagles. CeeDee Lamb went off. And what happened in the second half? Nothing. They couldn't score. Shut out of the end zone. No touchdowns for you guys. So the secondary is the secondary and Sean Desai is you said Desai is really starting to worry me. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I think he's been outstanding. I'm giving him a B plus. The defensive coordinator, again, he has nothing to work with when your guys are getting injured and you have to shuffle around and figure out you bringing new guys in left and right, and the secondary is in shambles, and to still be able to close out games and win games it's impressive. You look at the adjustments that these veterans are making, and they, bro. I'm honestly, there's a lot of growing pains. I mean, you look at CeeDee Lamb had 190 something, almost 200 yards. I'm not saying the secondary the secondary looks bad, but we still have an all pro on this side and James Bradbury, and we have a Pro Bowler all pro with Darius Slade. Is Darius Slade an all pro? Does Darius Slade have an all pro? Well, he should have one. He has multiple Pro Bowls. I mean, we have everything in place, man. And those guys they're winning, and when it matters, they're stopping teams. So it's not a lot you can say when the team is 8-1. Homer podcast. Look, dog. Look, I'm trying not to be a homer, but there's not much you can say bad when the team is 8-1. This is the best team in the NFL right now. It's hard to not. I mean, I'm trying, bro. Like for real. It's impossible. You can't do that, bro. You can't. The team is pretty much unblemished at this point. They've won in every way that you would want to see a team win, in every different fashion. They're equipped to win any type of ball game. Every game is like a playoff game when you're in the link. The energy, the atmosphere. So they're winning playoff atmosphere. We're already prepared for the playoffs. We're winning these games. The Dallas Cowboys game was like a playoff type atmosphere. Okay. I think the team is just equipped in every phase, right? You look at from the head that from the owner, from the owner to the head coach to the quarterback, they're grading out as an A plus. Okay. The O line, the coaching staff right now gets a solid B, a solid B, a solid B plus. So now you have the talent, you have the coaching staff. I mean, I'm not worried, man. Honestly, there's not, again, there's what more. It's hard to critique a team that's 8-1. They're the best team in the NFL. They've won it. I mean, they've won in every. How do you want to see a team win a football game? The Philadelphia Eagles have done it this year. So most of the things that I was harsh on the team for, they're correct in that they're getting better at it. So yeah, you say Homer podcast, a Homer podcast. I'm far from a Homer. That's how I know. That's how I know this guy Lamar does not watch any of my live streams. Because I get on here and grill the Philadelphia Eagles brutally because I want a Super Bowl, right? And don't nothing else matter. So if you're playing like crap, I'm far from a homer. I'm definitely far from a homer. But I can. There's nothing you can. When you're 8-1, what more is there to say, bro? What more is there to say? The team is 8-1. Um, Team is 8-1, right? Bayer's still learning the ropes. Yeah, give it some time. Yeah, he'll be fine. It's just pass cover. Our safeties and linebackers, they're having trouble like in pass coverage. That's pretty much it, man. That's pretty much it. C plus for Brian Johnson. I gotta C plus. That's too low. That's too low. C plus is too low because again, if I pull up the stats, right? If I pull up the stats dictate like, dude, he's their top. Their offense is top 5 in every category. Okay, they're scoring in the red zone now. I mean, this is like a updated revised version. Brian Johnson, there's still iffy play calls, right? But a lot of times, some of that is when the players don't really execute, so the play call looks horrible, right? So a lot of time it's not. I'm high on Brian Johnson right now. I'm gonna be honest, and I was the one calling for his job. Things change. Man, if I can't continue to feel that way if I'm seeing improvements and progressions. All right, I'll be honest. Right now I'm seeing the coordinators are looking. We're 8-1, right? So again, I'm justifying everything I'm saying because the team is 8-1 right now. There's not a lot really bad. Injuries are looking horrible. Or injuries are killing us. That's my only concern is injuries. But other than that, we're 8-1. So I think that boosts everybody's grade a bit. But again, I've been saying we're top 5 in every category with Brian Johnson at the helm, and we were much improved. In the red zone. Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up, J Rock? How's it going, bro? C plus for Sean Desai and uh yeah, I mean, hey, I'm liking what I'm seeing from the coordinators right now, man. I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest. I'm liking what I'm seeing from 'em. You can decide gets a C plus. I mean, you look at the performance. If you look at that Dallas performance, um, if you just look at Dallas, just the Dallas Cowboys performance alone, right? That drive where the Philadelphia Eagles defense stepped up and stopped the Dallas Cowboys from scoring to win us a game. I know maybe we should never been in that position to begin with. But the fact that your defense can get a stop to seal the game, I mean, you get a higher grade for that alone. Because Dallas, the Cowboys, they have a lot of pieces offensively. You know, they have a lot of pieces offensively. So to be able to do that with all of the injuries, I'm impressed. So that game gave me more confidence. Again, the Cowboys are, if I'm not mistaken, let me check real quick. The Dallas Cowboys, if I'm not mistaken, they only scored 6. They only scored 6 points in the second half. So, and even with the Rams, they completely stopped the Rams in the second half. Okay, the adjustments that they're making is really impressive. Yeah, the Cowboys only scored 6 points in the second. Wait, no, yeah, yo, I mean, that's okay. Let me put it into perspective real quick for you guys. Right, the Dallas Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys scored 6 points in the second half. In the fourth quarter, the third quarter they didn't score at all. The fourth quarter they only scored 6. If you can hold a team to 6 second half points. Bro, I mean, I can't even explain why that is so crucial and important. And they did the same thing with the Rams. John Desai is making adjustments. He's adjusting. And he's making the right adjustments. So if you decide what you're going to do in the first half, the second half you're cooked. Okay, the second half you're cooked. So, dog, that's Sean Desai. For Sean Desai adjustments alone, he's getting a B plus. If he had all his pieces, yo, if Sean Desai had all of his pieces on defense, bro, oh my God, this would be the best defense in the NFL. He already has the best run defense. For a defense to have the best run defense and the grade only get a C plus. Bro, Sage Desai gets a C plus. A C plus? Bro, how? Come on, man. We can't do that. We can't do that. We can't do that. Okay. We can't do that. When you look at the second halves, the second half, he's shutting teams out. Why? He's making adjustments. All right. So I can't give him. I can't give him. I'm a little higher on Sean Desai. I'm gonna be honest. C plus is probably spot on. I disagree. I disagree. You got to look at what he has to work with, dog. I mean, I know we all know about like the injuries. I mean, bro, there's been a multitude of injuries in this secondary. And yeah, that's not an excuse, but I think we're killing him a bit because of the secondary. It's not like he has his pieces. Okay, we have no slot. We have nobody at slot. We don't have a slot corner, and we don't have linebackers who can cover or a safety. We don't have linebackers and safeties that can cover. And on top of that, we don't have a slot. We don't have a slot corner. So, I mean, yikes! What do we really expect here? We're good though. Eli Ricks and Sidney Brown are just gaining experience through these couple of games. I expect them to get better. They're rookies, so I expect all the growing pains. J Rock, I do. Cowboys can't be good teams. Yeah, they can't. They can't be good teams. And if we pull one out on the road, which I think we will, um, that's gonna be a good game. That's gonna be a great game. Question: how will the Eagles beat the Chiefs? How will the Eagles beat the Chiefs? I might do a video on keys to victory and stuff like that. So you tune in. Today is only Monday, so I took the week off, chilling. We back off a bye week. So yeah, I'm gonna start on the Chiefs. Probably tomorrow. Probably about like Tuesday or Wednesday. I have a video about some of that, some of those things where I feel like the key. All of my keys to victory is always spot on. So every time I just always seem to know how teams should attack other teams for some reason. So I definitely got some stuff about that. Myron says I feel like the Chiefs game could low key be a defensive one. It very well can be, team. But it. Let's see, Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, again, I'm gonna talk all about that. You just got to stop. You have to stop Travis Kelce. Same thing in the Super Bowl. It's the same matchup. Honestly, you just got to stop Travis Kelce and get to Patrick Mahomes on a good field, right in Philadelphia. We're gonna toast them. I don't even think it's gonna be close. I think it's gonna be a blowout. Honestly, it's gonna be a blowout. Both teams are rested off a bye week. It's on Monday night. Oh my god, bro! I get hyped up, bro. I get hyped just thinking about it. We got the Super Bowl rematch Monday night. Super Bowl rematch Monday Night Football. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this right now. This game should not be close. The game shouldn't be close. All right. This is the team that beat us in the Super Bowl. We are at home. You got Travis Kelsey, you know, Jason Kelsey's brother, right? Our best player. This is his brother coming to Philadelphia in a Super Bowl rematch where you guys just beat us in the Super Bowl. If this ain't personal, if this isn't personal, you got the two Texas boys, right? Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts. Patrick Mahomes just beat you. Patrick Mahomes beat you twice, Jalen. Patrick Mahomes beat you in the Super Bowl, and Patrick Mahomes beat you the year before that with Tyreek Hill. So you're 0-2 against Patrick Mahomes, Jalen. If you think Patrick Mahomes is going to leave Philadelphia with a dub, you drunk. Something wrong. You need to go get evaluated. There's no way Patrick Mahomes is going to come to Philadelphia and squeak out a dub. It's not happening. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not happening, bro. Okay, it's not happening. It's not happening. It's not happening under any circumstances. Is Patrick Mahomes going to come to Philadelphia after beating us in the Super Bowl? Look. Hold on, Jalen. Let me tell you. Look, Philadelphia Eagles. If you guys, there's no way. No. I can't even think of a scenario in which the Chiefs beat the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't. I can't process that happening. It's not happening. Okay, it's not happening. They're not leaving with a. But it won't happen in my book. I can't. I can't even imagine it. I think it's going to be a blowout. I think it's going to be a blowout. Honestly, I think it's going to be a blowout. He has no weapons. Who's he? He Patrick Mahomes' only weapon he has is Andy Reid. Okay, Andy Reid is drawing up the perfect plays for him. Okay, so let's not act like it's just Patrick Mahomes. It's not. It is a combination of the best tight end in the the best tight end in NFL history you got with you, and you got one of the best coach in the NFL, arguably in NFL history with Andy Reid. Because let's not act like Andy Reid is in the top five head coach ever in the NFL. Let's not do that. Let's not do that. We're not gonna do that. That's what we're not gonna do. So this guy has Patrick Mahomes. He has Travis Kelsey, easily top three tight ends ever in the NFL. Then he has top five NFL head coach in Andy Reid. So I don't think he's good, right? He's really good, but we also have to take into account that he has weapons. He has weapons. Philadelphia Eagles has weapons, and so does Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City Chiefs with Travis Kelsey and Andy Reid. Okay, so if we're gonna talk about this, we have to put everything into its proper perspective. Yes, we understand that the Philadelphia Eagles have weapons with an AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, Dallas Goedert is hurt, best offensive line in NFL, Jalen Hurts. So let's not act like this isn't a fair fight when we pull them out. Okay, let's not act like Patrick Mahomes doesn't have weapons. He does. Let's let's nip that in the bud. Let's kill that argument right now. When we blow out the Chiefs, the first thing they're gonna say is, "Oh, Patrick Mahomes didn't have weapons," or they're gonna make up something. I'm here to tell you that Patrick Mahomes has the best tight end in the NFL. Best tight. I mean, if you're talking NFL history, Travis Kelsey is a top three. You don't have better tight ends ever. You could throw Rob Gronkowski, and then there's Jason Kelsey. So he's definitely, but he's arguably the first or second best tight end ever. You know, we have Shannon Sharps and we have guys, okay, but all the records are his right now. And Travis Kelsey with a Patrick Mahomes. So Travis Kelsey is doing wonders for Patrick Mahomes, and so was Andy Reid. So that's more than enough weapons because Andy Reid's a Hall of Fame head coach. So he has weapons. Okay. That's not I like this. Let's not act like it's not a fair fight. Because it's gonna happen. It's about to happen. I'm calling a blowout. I'm calling a blowout. You know, in the end, I think it's gonna be a blowout. For real. I really do. Can't underestimate Andy Reid, but yeah, we got your number this year. We got your number. We definitely got their number. We definitely got their number. Uh that's my take on that's my take on the Chiefs. That's my take on the Chiefs. I'll have to dive into some numbers and things like that, which will happen like later during this week. Are we playing NKC? Hold on, I could just let me check that to make sure. Oh shit. Okay, wait. Hold on. We're playing at okay, we're in Kansas City. Same thing applies. It's hard to win in Kansas City. Okay, it's hard to win there. Wow, that's that now. Okay, I thought we were at. Why would they? Why didn't we get the? Well, they won the Super Bowl, so against us. So okay, it's gonna be. I don't get why they would just. Oh, I didn't know that, bro. Does that change my blowout? Me saying it's a blowout? Uh, I'm gonna stand to my guns. Period. We're gonna go in Kansas City and shock them. We finna go to Kansas City and shock them in front of they. But we're about to hit them where it hurts. Okay, because first off, we all know that turf that we were playing on in the Super Bowl. Come on, man, that turf was terrible. The grass, whatever it was muddy, salt. And the playing field should not be that bad. Okay, did that help Kansas City? Who knows? The fact of the matter is, just don't mess with the grass. Don't mess with the grass. As long as it's a fair fight, I don't care where we play it at. We could be in a sand desert. We can be at any. It doesn't matter. We can be in a sand desert playing a football game. They can go line it up outside in the parking lot. Oh, I don't care where they at. As long as just make sure that wherever we play, it's not muddy and soggy, right? Just make sure it's not. Make sure that wherever we play it, make sure the foundation is solid. That's all I ask for. Dallas, oh, we got a Dallas Cowboys fan. Okay, let's see what he got to say. Y'all just ain't a team that will go to the Super Bowl, maybe the playoffs, but not the Super Bowl. Y'all just ain't a team that will go to the Super Bowl. We were just in the Super Bowl, bro. I think okay, I think he confused. What he meant to say was the Dallas Cowboys isn't a team that will go to the Super Bowl. Okay, I see what you. Oh, you got it mixed up. I get it. Okay. Stop Kelsey across the middle. Yes, just stop Kelsey. And we or even if you can't stop Kelsey, you can let one player get theirs. Okay. You can let one player. You look at CD Lamb, he had 190 some yards receiving, and he lost. So you can still say, hey, you know what? We're not gonna let anybody else beat us. We know where it's coming from. Let's figure out when we can get ours. When can we make a play? We're gonna let them make their plays, and we know where they're gonna go. And right when they think they can keep going there, we're gonna cut it off. Okay, it's all a strategy thing here. Okay, so even if you go back to Dallas, if you go back to the Dallas Cowboys game, you got to pick and choose when to actually, because that you have a weakness in certain areas. So you have to pick and choose when to actually attack. And if I know where the attack coming from, I can prepare and I can know exactly when to strategize or when to throw out my counter, right? Because I know where it's coming from. It's not coming from all over the place. So as long as even if it's just Kelsey, I know where it's coming from. So I know, okay, eventually I'm gonna, pick and choose when I stop him, right? Because so you always can game plan and you don't show your hand until it's really time to. You wait to the second half. And that's what I like about Sean Desai. Okay. He makes his adjustments. Pressure on Mahomes. Yeah, that's key. That's key to every game. That's key to every game. That's the key to every game. Pressure on Mahomes, on any whoever the quarterback is. Because you can't win a lot of games if you're not getting pressure on these quarterbacks. Right. So that's all that's the first key to every game. You gotta hit them early and often. And I think we do that. I think we do it. It's a different kind of hunger when you just lost to this team, man. We just lost to them. Another loss, a loss to the Chiefs is unacceptable. Like a loss to the Dallas Cowboys is unacceptable. A loss to the Dallas Cowboys is extreme. It can't happen. Yeah, because they're going to hear it. A loss from the Chiefs after Jalen Hurts hasn't beat them. Right? Jalen Hurts hasn't beat Patrick Mahomes. They're both from Texas. Yeah, but I don't see it. I know I'm gonna go crazy if we lose, right? Because we hold them to a standard, and the standard is different, man. They have to pull out a game in Kansas City. They have to win this game. This is a must win. They know it. The Chiefs are on a bye week. The Eagles are on a bye week. We're all fresh. There's no excuses. I'm not trying to hear anything. The Chiefs may have a slight advantage because they're at home. Every home team has a slight advantage. But I think the Philadelphia Eagles still come out on top of this one. I think we come out on top. You say y'all the best team in the NFL right now. It doesn't matter. We are the best team in the NFL, but that's not what we want. We want a Super Bowl. You know, that's common, but it was fast on fiction. The Chiefs, the Chiefs don't get blown out in big games. Hey, look, bro, exactly. Maybe they don't, but any given Sunday, anybody can lose. And you know who I'm betting on? You know who I'm betting on? Feel me? That's who I'm betting on. And again, it's not. This is gonna be the Chiefs aren't a slouch. They've won Super Bowls. They know what it takes to win. But I don't think I'm more confident in my team, man. You know that we get our this is our get back from the Super Bowl. This is our get back. This is our get back. this is our we get our get back. It's revenge. It's revenge. What sweeter joy? What sweeter joy is to go into their homes and do them dirty, do them dirty at Arrowhead, do them dirty at Arrowhead, do them dirty at Arrowhead. They did it to us. They cheated us. James Bradbury, holding, questionable hold. You gotta let that run. You can't call that right now in this Super Bowl and the biggest game of all time. Like you can't ruin it with that. That's petty. Do that in the first quarter, second quarter. You don't you know that you can't call it. Muddy grass. Come on, you can't have a good field. You can't have a good, nice field for the Super Bowl. Nah, bro, they played us. This our get back. Jonathan Gannon. Look at Jonathan Gannon. This dude had already did it. It had already he had another job lined up before the Super Bowl. They colluded with that. It's so our Super Bowl loss was so weird. I never even spoke on it. I'm just like whatever. But this is our get back. This is our get back. This is our revenge. There's no way we're gonna lose to them. No way. No way. No way. Okay, so the refs been rocking with us. I'm gonna need the refs to intervene in some of those. I'm gonna need the ref because the refs know they played us last year. Yeah, yeah, y'all gotta. The refs gonna be on our side the Chiefs game as well, right? The refs been rocking with us. The refs been helping us out. So if we got the refs in our back pocket too, yeah, that's a win. That's a win. It's a win, man. Okay, hey, we not even gonna jinx it. We just trying to win one game at a time, 1 week at a time. That's your opinion. It's just 1 week at a time. But this is a Super Bowl rematch, so of course I'm gonna kind of, you know, chime in on it because golly, bro, that was the worst loss of the season. But in the meantime, the boys are 2 games back on the Birds in the division. Yeah, and I don't look. I think the Cowboys, they aren't legit, right? But they can sneakily do some noise, make some noise, okay? Because they're blowing out bad teams like the Giants, right? But when they lost to the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, these are teams you're going to see in the Super Bowl. I mean, not in the Super Bowl, sorry. These are teams you're going to see in the playoffs that are aspiring to win a Super Bowl, right? So against the teams that the Dallas Cowboys need to win against or not. I mean, golly, the 49ers smoked the 49ers whooped that tail. The 49ers did them bad. The 49ers ruined their entire season. After you seen a 49ers game, they exposed the Cowboys early, for real. And I like the Dak to CD thing they got going on. Right, because cool, just it's his year to get paid or whatever. So force feed him. But at the end of the day, man, they not really. Yeah, they not threats at all. They not threats because they just blowing out bad teams. Right. At some point in time, you need to see an impressive win. I need to see a win in a close game. Show me some close game. Show me Show me games where you're winning when it matters in close and clutch situations. They just blow bad teams out. Then against all the good teams, they struggle. And this what they've always been, honestly, for quite some time. So yeah, that's wild. They just blow all the bad teams out and lose to the good team. So it makes them look better than they're not. I just cracked the Dallas Cowboys whole. I just cracked the code. That's what they do. They blow out the bad teams, right? And the score is like 45-10. So it's like, whoa, this team must be really good, right? So you get an inflated sense of yourself as a Dallas Cowboys player and a part of their organization. Because you're blowing out you're blowing out teams. But when you play the good teams, oh, the game may be close or we just happen to lose, but you don't win them. So that's their key right there, right? But they're frauds. They're frauds. They're frauds. They're frauds. I got them losing at least 6 games. They losing at least 6 games. They Cowboys losing like 6 games. And you lose 6 games in the NFC, trying to win the NFC East, bro. That shit ain't happening. Because we not losing 6. We 8-1 right now. So we can afford to drop a couple. Hopefully the games toward the end of the season doesn't matter. And think about that. This guy's a Cowboy fan. He talks about us too much. Hold on, wait. Let me see. He said this guy is a Cowboys fan. Send his ass to the loser lounge. You the first victim of the day. Congratulations. He has just been sent to the loser lounge. You can go congregate with all the other losers in there, but you can't come in here and talk. You know, make a new account and then come back, and I'll send you back there. Let's just do that. All right. Cause bro, what are you saying, man? You just talking too much, bro. You're saying anything. Okay. AD says Dak struggles under pressure compared to good quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes. I mean, most quarterbacks when there's pressure bust pipes. That's the saying that that I use. But pressure bust pipes. So pressure gets pressure can get to you. It can rattle you. You know, he didn't escape anything. He choked. Take that L, Dak. Yeah, man. Look. Here's the thing. Here's the thing with Dak. Right. Here's the thing with Dak Prescott. Here's the thing with Dak Prescott. Okay, Dak Prescott when he can force feed players, right? So he can get a good rapport with somebody and say, "Hey, we're just gonna run up the stats." That's what he do, right? Even when you look at Michael Gallup and you look at some of these guys, you just get your timing right, and he like, "Yeah, let's eat." And that's what he does. He's doing it right now with Dak. With what's the guy? CD Lamb. He just force feed guys the ball. What is it called? They're padding the stats. They're trying to make the stats look better than they are. That's really all they do. Wow. Yeah, they just pad the stats. That's all they are. Even bro, they played us in a playoff game. Right. No, they played us in a regular season. The game didn't mean anything. We already had our playoff spot. We already were locked into the team we would play. They didn't have anything to play for. They was already seeded. And they played their starters against our third and fourth stringers. And they ran a score up to like 40 points. I think this was Nick Sirianni's rookie year. I'm like, bro, why would you do that? Why would put the backups in, let the backups play. So instead, they put their starters, their best players, out to play the Philadelphia Eagles rookies and first year players. And it's like, bro, y'all, it doesn't look too classy. Okay. First off, why don't you give your the guys that don't play an opportunity to play in a meaningless game? It means nothing. Right. Let your other play go evaluate some of these guys. Get them some reps. No, they played all of their starters the whole game just for stats. And well, bro, what is that? That's wild. What if one of your starters get injured and hurt for the season and be out for the season or can't play in a playoff game? So that confirmed my entire theory about the Dallas Cowboys. They just run up the stats, man. Really, they just like stats. Okay, but a lot of times that type of stuff doesn't equate to winning. It never does. Right? You look at them; they haven't won in 28 years, something like that. Right? Yeah, stat padding. That's what they be stat padding, bro. Even if you look at my last live stream with Law Nation, he has like 115K subscribers. He's really known around like the Dallas Cowboys versus Philadelphia Eagles or like NFL content creator, right? And I had to tell him this pretty much the same thing, bro. You guys haven't won a Super Bowl in how many years? You're not relevant. You don't beat good teams. So the Dallas Cowboys game was obvious. It was obvious what would happen. I don't know how what happened. Yeah, at times I was like, "Oh, this game is close," right? But it's the Dallas Cowboys, bro. I was like, "Come on, that's how they operate. They're not a good team, bro. They're not a good team. They're not a good team. Period. They're not a good team. They really never have been, right? You can let the wins fool you. You can let some of the regular season wins fool you, but they're only beating bad teams. Which you should do, you're supposed to do, but that's all. I mean, when in the playoffs, get to a Super Bowl. When they get to a Super Bowl, then maybe we could. But other than that, I really don't even like addressing them. I don't even like talking about them. It's just the fact that they talk and they've never won a. They haven't won a dog. Man, I'm not even going. I'm not gonna start with this, bro, because I just start ranting all day. When Dallas chokes this year, they're gonna choke. They always choke. This game could decide the NFC one seed in their division. The Eagles could have two games. But the game could decide the NFC's first seed. Not, I don't think the Dallas Cowboys will. I don't think the Dallas and the rematch. I don't think if you're talking about the rematch, I don't think that would determine if. I don't think that would actually decide anything. I think it's already over. I think it's already over. I think it's already over. You know what the Dallas Cowboys are. They're not beating good teams. They haven't beat the Eagles or the 49ers. You got to beat one of these two teams, right? You got to split at some point. They do play us again, but you already have lost. You already have lost twice to the two teams who's actually been in the champion, and who was in the championship last year. In the NFC Championship. So you have to be able to contend with the Eagles and the 49ers, and they can't. They cannot. They just can't do it. They can't do it. You gotta pull out one of those wins if you legit like that. You know what I'm saying? If you legit, you gotta pull out one of those. But they maybe they will look would they look better with Trayvon Diggs? I don't know. Because Trayvon Diggs, you can get him. He's really burnt toast now. We ain't gonna Trayvon Diggs he's really burnt toast. I know this Cowboys fans trying to say if Hurts is injured, y'all season is done. It's like they wishing. Now I don't know. Well, some people do that, but the vast majority of fans don't wish injury on nobody. There is like a dark, some other people like, but it never get that deep for like the vast majority of fans. But Dallas Cowboys have to win for yeah. No, Dallas Cowboys have to win for a wild game spot. Wild game spot? What the fuck? For a wild card spot? That's why what? I don't know, bro. I can't read that, bro. That you just all over the place. You make me sound dumb trying to read what you Said, what the hell do the Dallas Cowboys have to win for wild game spot? That's why I need to start their starters. No, go to school, bro. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. But uh, when you have a guy like Jalen Hurts and AJ Brown, what can you do? How can you stop these type of guys? The answer is you can't.
Do what we do and do.
That's the thing. I just got one question. How you gonna stop the Philadelphia Eagles? You can't stop this team. You can't stop. Okay, you can't stop them. There's too many different elements, too many different ways that this team has to beat you. There's too many. They have too many ways to beat you. There's too many ways. Okay. And you have to sell out. Okay. You as a defense, you have to sell out to beating one. And you're gonna be open somewhere else. Right? There's it's too difficult. I'm gonna be honest with you. They can throw deep, they can throw intermediate, they can throw the short routes. I mean, they run the ball extremely well. Their quarterback, he's getting all his short yardage, fourth and shorts, like every um every level of the field is open. From the short range to the mid range to the deep range. The defense is figuring out how to win games when it matters. It's just hard. It's way too difficult. Now you can try to stop them from throwing deep. They're just gonna run the ball. They're just gonna run the ball or throw intermediate routes. You maybe all right, let's try stopping the run game. Okay, cool. We're just gonna throw over the top. It's kind of that just it's really just that simple. All right. To where when you look at teams, it's really just that simple. How am I going to attack? And they have so many ways to attack. You can't stop everything. You either have to stop. You either have to stop. You can't stop everything, man. Like it's so much as far as the X's and O's to where you have like there's plays, all right, for example, there's plays to where you have three options. It's called they have option routes as well with the receivers. But when you're executing a play and you have three things that you can go to. You have three things you can go to. If this isn't there, then go there. Okay, if I fake the handoff, they're gonna bite. I'm just gonna throw the ball. Right? It's too easy for these pros, honestly. When you got all the talent, when you got so much talent, it's difficult to stop. It's difficult to stop a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. They can just do so many things. They can do too much. Sanders is trash. Dak for MVP. Dak for MVP. It's hard to argue with 8-1. That's my whole thing right there. That sums it up in a nutshell. It's way too hard to argue with 8-1. Now, if things were not improving, okay, I can. But everything's been improving. All of my even earlier in the season, after like the third game, I spoke upon AJ Brown, and I didn't know why he was having a temper tantrum. I wanted him traded. Why we're in the middle of winning a game, and you're over there on the sideline, like what's going on, right? But things things change. And that's what's crazy about the NFL. So a week or two from now, the whole complexity of the NFL can look completely different, right? And that's what's so crazy. All right. Brian Johnson, I wanted him fired. Now he's doing a great job. So these things change fast. The Jets were able to stop the Eagles' offense. Yeah, the Jets have a really good defense. The Jets have a really good defense. A lot of that was turnovers. They got some really like kind of weird turnovers, and that was a good game. I can't take nothing away from the Jets. I mean, we've never lost to the Jets. We were like we're about what 10 and how we've never lost to the Jets ever in history, and they beat us. So I mean, you guys never beat us. So whatever. You won. Kudos to you. Right. They played well. They actually helped us get better because now we see how teams can attack us. But yeah, they just helped us get better. The Jets. So that was a good loss. Right. So yeah, they got their loss out the way. And I don't see it's gonna be hard to beat this team. It's gonna be hard to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. Yeah, it happens. But here's the thing, it doesn't happen a lot over here. We don't lose, right? Let's be honest. The Philadelphia Eagles we don't lose. Okay, we lost in the Super Bowl. That's tough. That's like a huge L. Honestly, that's a big ass L. But and we lost to Washington last year. That's two L's last year, right? And we just lost to the Jets. So we've only lost 3 games. We only lost 3 games in like 2 years, year and a half. About a year and a half. I mean, that's impressive, right? Teams lose 3 games in a season. That's with Jalen Hurts, right? With Jalen Hurts, okay? With our star quarterback. Now, we've lost some games without him. I know that. But we lost 2 games. We lost 2 games without him last year. But with our starting quarterback, we've only lost, 3 games in a year and a half? You almost lost Washington twice this year. Yeah, we've almost lost to the Patriots. We've almost all of our games have been close, but it's more impressive right? It's more impressive when you're winning, regardless who you're playing against. When you're winning close games, when it matters, down it just takes it's just more impressive. It's much more impressive because now I get to see the character of the team. I get to see how the team uh how they operate under pressure, how they fight for one another. You get a sense of your team in those type of moments. And I know in crunch time, the Philadelphia Eagles is winning. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win when it matters in crunch time in critical situations. And I've seen it all year this year. Okay, I've seen it. Now I would like to see them look more dominant. Where you can look forward to more blowouts. There's definitely going to be more blowouts because the team is starting to, figure out. It's a new year, so you have to build the chemistry and you have to rebuild all of that stuff because you have new players and new coaches. So I feel like they're right where they should. I feel like the team is where they left off last year. I feel like the team is where they left off last year. Now the offense looked better last year. No, I can't really say that. I think right now at this point, I think it's about fair. It's about even. Honestly, they've really picked up. They've really picked up. It looks different. It just looks different. But looking at the stats, it looks pretty much the same. All right. And there's been growing pain. So I would still probably get an edge to last year. But I understand right now they're working out the kinks. So it's almost I feel like it's peaking in the right at the right time. I feel like this is where we start seeing the offense elevate. Because it's been getting better. I mean, really, it's just the red zone, just scoring in the red zone. That was really the only problem. They looked more dominant last year. I mean, this is a harder. Okay, all right. Look, there's a misconception here. They look they look more dominant last year. Okay, when you come off a soup when you're the NFC champions, your whole division knows you're the best team in the in the NFC. So they look at it as a Super Bowl. Right? So teams are every game is tougher because they know this is a litmus test. When you play the Philadelphia Eagles, this is where we can see how good we actually are. So these games are magnified because teams are just playing that much more hard. Part of it is that. Also, we have a harder schedule. A much we have at the beginning of the season, we had the hardest schedule in the NFL. Right. So there's that. So of course, from those two aspects alone, last year is going to look more impressive because things are different this year. Things are tougher. This is a tougher year. So it's just a tougher year, and we're still 8-1. Right? We're still 8-1. We're still 8-1. Let's not forget that. Name a Super Bowl champion that blew out every team they played, didn't lose. Facts. See, a W is a W no matter. Yeah, that's facts, Brian. Not even the 72 Dolphins. We are everyone's Super Bowl. Exactly. And that's what makes it 20 times harder. Everybody look at us like, hey, this the big dogs. Because if you can beat the Philadelphia Eagles, right? You've done something that really hasn't been done often in these last two seasons. So if you can beat the Philadelphia Eagles, man, that puts your team on the map. You get publicity and everything. You look at last year when the Commanders quarterback when he went on a press run when they beat us. That was our first loss of the season. That was Jalen Hurts' first and only loss of the regular season. He went on a whole press run. Like, dog, chill, bro. You feel me? So it's it's levels to it. And when you play the Philadelphia Eagles, dog, you have to take that into account. They're playing the Philadelphia Eagles like it's their Super Bowl. We're everyone's Super Bowl. We're everyone's Super Bowl. The Chiefs, this is like because you get to measure yourself up. The Chiefs and the Eagles, they're like, all right, cool. If we can actually beat the Chiefs, or or vice versa, it shows that all right, I'm ready for the play. I'm really ready for the playoff. I'm ready. I'm a Super Bowl caliber team, right? This is huge. These big games, the Cowboys, Eagles, that's huge. If your team comes out winning that game, you feel like you're ready to compete for a championship, a Super Bowl, because you just beat the best of the best. The Eagles is the best team in the NFL. It's been that way, right? The Super Bowl was a fluke. We still look like the better team at the end of the day in some aspects. So it's not like we didn't. It's not like we didn't fit the bill. It's not like no. We look just as impressive as the Chiefs. So if you could be the team that is top dog right now, you can beat us. And hey, you can do a lot. You're looked at differently because you beat the best team in the NFL. The Dallas Cowboys ain't get it done though. They trash. But at this Chiefs Eagles game, hey, we need this dub. And we need this dub. We need this. I mean, everybody treats the Philadelphia Eagles like it's their Super Bowl because we're the best team in the NFL. We're everyone's Super Bowl, bro. We definitely are. Brian says, yeah, we get everybody's best every game and then some. Bro, it's a Super Bowl. When if you play the Philadelphia Eagles, opposing teams are looking like the game is they feel as though the game is a Super Bowl. They looking at the game as if it's a Super Bowl. Commanders played 2 Super Bowls this year and give us all they could handle. However, I respect the Commanders. I respect the Commanders. They always put up a good fight. They took our streak last year. We went to overtime with them this year. But I mean, eventually they started folding in. But they got heart. They like the little brothers. You feel you may rough them up or whatever, but it's all tough love. They don't want no problem, man. The Cowboys, we everybody hate the Cowboys. Period. We just hate them. Period. Giants, they stink. But the Commanders played us really well. Now I'll give them that. So if Cowboys beat the Eagles next game, so if the Cowboys beat the Eagles, this is what that means. They would have split with us like they've done last year. It would mean absolutely nothing if they beat us because they also lost to the 49ers. We already beat them. Yeah, so they'll have to prove themselves. They have to prove themselves. Okay. The Christmas game that they beat us last year, we didn't have Jalen Hurts. So if if it's a rematch with Jalen Hurts and Dak, we can count it for whatever it is. Okay, but I don't. If they beat us, they get credit, right? But they will still have a losing record against the contenders, right? They lost. They got blew out by the 49ers. I'm going to count that as 2 L's. I really want to count that as 2 L's, but I can't. It's still one loss. But they got blew up by the 49ers, and they just lost to the Eagles. So they're 0-2 against the two teams that's standing in their way of going to the Super Bowl. They can't beat them. So if they beat us, they'll be 1-2. All right. But if they lose to us, they'll be 0-3. And I just think they've been exposed already, honestly. They've been already exposed. Didn't do the Jets. Didn't do the Jets much good. Uh, Eagles lost to Jets. I'm saying that a lot. Eagles lost to the Jets. Stop it. Your team is overrated, bro. We're 8-1. Should I pull up? Should I pull up regular season records from last year and this year combined, bro? We're not. We don't lose games. Like I said, we've lost. We've lost how many games? Regular season games. Jalen Hurts has only lost 2 regular season games in the last year and a half. So I mean, bro, from the stats, come on, man. We're not. Cut it out, bro. Cut it out. Just cut it out. I'm being humble, but we're 8-1 right now. So just shut you. I mean, I'm pretty sure your team is 8-1 because we're the only 8-1 team. Exactly. Right. So hey, well, how much are you saying? Your team is an 8-1, bro. Lions taking the NFC. Oh, so you're a Lions fan. He's a Lions. They're a Lions, bro. He said you lost to a one-legged QB. He didn't. We lost to a one-legged QB in the Super Bowl. I'm pretty sure Patrick Mahomes has 2 legs. So I don't know what you're talking about. I don't even now I'm confused. And now I just feel like you're an idiot. When you say you lost to a one-legged quarterback in the Super Bowl, that's when I just don't even. How could a one-legged quarterback play in a Super Bowl? You're done. That's when you're done. Actually, let's send him to the loser lounge. He's in a loser lounge. Mr. Hernandez. You know what? You in a loser lounge. Uh, but yeah. Send his ass to the loser lounge. Go talk to God or somebody else and tell them what you just told me. That's your stream, guys. I'll try to do more streams. And like always, God bless those Philadelphia Eagles.